Now we can reduce the weight of our car by 35 pounds by removing our rear seats. So in today's video, I'm gonna show you guys how to do a rear seat delete kit for 50 bucks and make it look like this. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. And last week we installed a Studio RSR 4-point roll cage in the rear of our car. Now when we did that, we actually had to just delete our rear seats, which roughly saves 35 pounds. Now whether you track your car or like to take it to the drag strip, reducing weight is always a good thing. Not only do you make your car faster, but you also reduce wear on your brakes and your tires and other components on the car. So reducing weight is a win-win all around, and especially when it's so easy to do, such as removing the rear seats in the car. Now these rear seats are only held in by U-clips, one on each side, and the back pops out of just some standard clips as well. If you want a more in-depth how to uninstall rear seats in your car, go ahead and click this link right here and it'll walk you exactly through how to do that. Now, when trying to delete rear seats, you're left with this empty tub and a wide open trunk. Now that can make your exhaust sound phenomenal when driving down the road, but again, you have to hear everything moving around in the trunk, and for a daily, for something that you drive to and from the grocery store and back and forth to work, it's not something that I wanted in my car. I wanted something that looked clean and professional. So I opted to get a rear seat delete kit, and I was surprised about the prices for them. A lot of them range from 200 bucks all the way up to $400. Now, I'm gonna show you guys what materials you need and how to make your own at home, and it's going to cost only 50 bucks. So let's go ahead and dive into the materials we used and then show you a before and after of our rear seat delete kit. Now, typically on this channel, I walk you guys through every single cut and every single bolt that we install on each one of the parts that we've added to our Camaro SS 1LE. But when talking about a rear seat delete kit, again, you are in the rear of the car and it's really hard to get the right angles on camera. So I'm gonna show you guys what I used and what process I went through in order to get this done. So we started with a $2 large moving box from Home Depot. Now this is what's gonna be used to make our base templates. You can use any boxes you have lying around, but it's only $2 for a larger box at Home Depot. So that's what we started with. Then after a lot of cutting and tracing, we ended up with our first template. Now, the Camaro could not be any easier when it comes to mocking up a rear seat delete kit. There's a shelf on the front of the car and then also a shelf on the rear, which your template will just kind of sit on top of. Now, the main difference between a caged car rear seat delete and a non-caged car rear seat delete is with a cage in the car, you're going to have to do 4 separate pieces, 2 for the bottom and 2 for the top, because it won't fit properly into the car, and installing a cage with it already in there wouldn't be possible either. Now, if you do not have a cage in your car, you can do 1 solid piece across the bottom and 1 solid piece across the top. It's gonna make your life a whole lot easier. Now, it's at this point that I need to tell you is to measure twice and cut once. Now, you're only gonna need 2 sheets of 1/4-inch MDF board from Home Depot, which is only gonna cost 15 bucks to buy. But if you're like me and you make some mistakes, you're going to have to buy an extra sheet or 2. I ended up having to buy 4 sheets of this because I kept having to recut to make sure I was getting a perfect fitment around the cage. But if you guys measure a few times, I'm sure it'll take you less than I did. So just a 1/4-inch MDF board from Home Depot, roughly 15 bucks for 2 sheets. Now, once you have the template all cut out of your cardboard, you're set to go ahead and transfer that over to your MDF board. Now, what you need essentially is a 1/4-inch MDF, and go ahead and cut that out to fit exactly what your cardboard template looked like. Now, I made some mistakes because I didn't learn measure twice, cut once. So if you do need to make some adjustments, you can tape on some additional cardboard and cut an extra piece out of what you bought. Now, the final result looks something like this. You can see the MDF board is on the rear, and you have this car carpet material, which I will link below in the description. It matches the OEM carpet perfectly and looks like it came from the factory. So overall, this whole kit only weighs 5 pounds, and it really makes that rear of the car look finished and completely done. Now, I know that's a pretty weak explanation on how to do a rear seat DIY kit, but essentially you just cut out a cardboard template, match it to the rear of your car, and use some MDF boards and automotive carpet from Home Depot, and you're set to go. I'm excited and stoked, and it's gonna allow us to move on to our next project, which is sitting right behind me. So, and if you guys haven't already, consider subscribing. We have weekly uploads here.